Your goals don't count until they're hard. Your big ambitions, your dreams, your desires, the thing that you want to create, the life that you want to build for yourself, everything great comes with you putting in great amounts of effort and work. It's supposed to be hard. That's part of the thrill, is that you're putting in all of this effort and something great comes out on the other side. If you didn't put work behind it, you wouldn't value it. You wouldn't appreciate it. And so I think one of the things that people really struggle with is this whole working smart versus working hard thing. Do you work smart? Do you work hard? A lot of people going against hard work and say, well, just work smart, work smart, work smart. I'm all for working smart. It's both. Guys, it's always both. It's both. You have to work smart, of course, and you have to work hard. Hard work alone is not enough. There's plenty of people who work incredibly hard and never come anywhere close to reaching their goals. Plenty of people. But just working smart alone, that's not enough either. Hard work is your ticket in. Hard work, staying consistent, doing the thing is your ticket to the game. Once you're inside the game, now you gotta work smart. It's always that combination of both. And so I don't think your goals count until they're hard, until they're difficult. Making videos, for me, it's still difficult. At the beginning, it was just getting comfortable in front of the camera. It was believing in myself. It was practicing having a message, having a story. I would never have made a video in the car with people walking by and the windows open, and never, I would never have done that. I would have been too scared, too shy, too introverted, too worried about being judged, never. So it was hard at the beginning, but it's still hard now because YouTube evolves, YouTube changes, there's new algorithms. Now I'm doing multiple channels, now we're doing longer videos, now there's shorts, now there's all of these things that you have to constantly pay attention to. And that's fine. That's better than fine, that's great. Because my great goals, my great ambitions comes on the other side of me doing a lot of great hard work. Some people expect it to be easy. I think some people at the beginning, we buy into something to say, oh, well, look how easy it is for them. It looks easy, so it's going to be easy for us. I think some people buy into it being easy, but I think most of you probably think, okay, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard, but you don't expect it to be that hard. I think this is the problem. Like, you expect it to be hard, but not as hard as it actually is. I've made over 10,000 videos for my channels. I would have thought that's crazy. I would have expected to work hard, but I would never have said I'll make 10,000 videos. That just seems like it's just way too big a number. How do you even go and do that? That's ridiculous. That's too hard. I can't do that. And yet that's what it took, you know? So I think that becomes a problem, is you don't expect to just get rich quick. You don't expect it to be easy. I'm not talking to America now, I'm talking to you. You guys are achievers, you're part of Believe Nation. You don't expect it to be easy or handed to you. You're willing to put an effort, but you don't expect it to be that hard. To take more than your max effort. Because you're putting in the work and you're not getting the results. I know, that sucks. That was me, my first business, putting in all the work, and just not seeing the results. And I expected it to be hard, but not this hard. And it pushes you to the breaking point where you don't feel like you can make it. And I actually quit on my business partner for a day before coming back to it because I didn't want to regret that decision. I think it's something we all struggle with, especially at the beginning, especially while you're trying to build momentum, because getting that initial momentum, getting the ball rolling is the hardest part. Keeping something in motion is a lot easier than just getting something in motion at the beginning. But you do have this strength. You find this strength. You find it buried inside you. And that thing that you're doing is so important that you have to keep going. So how do you do it? Great, that's a motivational little rant, but how do you actually do it? Let me give you some strategies. Step number 1 is you remind yourself that you do difficult things. You remind yourself, you do difficult things, that when it gets difficult, when it gets scary, when it gets hard, you are the person who does scary, difficult, hard. I use those as trigger words, scary, difficult, hard. When I say those things, feel those things, text those things, write those things, feeling those things, then I have to do it because Evan Carmichael does difficult things. You start to shift your identity. This isn't just an Evan Carmichael thing. This is a you thing. This is an everybody who wants to achieve thing. That when it gets difficult, you show up. You don't retreat. You don't run away. You don't quit. You don't stop. When it gets difficult, you show up. This is the time to show up. You need you to show up. You do difficult things. Remind yourself of it. Write it somewhere near your computer, write it by your bedside, write it on your bathroom mirror, put it on your fridge. You do difficult things. Wherever you go when you feel the most down, if you run to food when you feel down, great, put it on your fridge. You do difficult things. The more you can remember that, embrace it, live it, the more you're going to change your life. Because when you are at your lowest point and you need that little boost just to remind yourself of who you are, what you're made of, so you don't allow those negative situations to spiral out of control, that one setback leads to a day, a week, a month of lack of productivity. You can't allow that to happen. Setbacks will happen. You cannot control that. You can control your reaction to it. And it's okay to feel down for a few moments. It's okay to spend 15 minutes feeling frustrated, low, down, but not a day, not a week, not a month, not give up, not throw away your whole idea because of constant setbacks. The way to overcome the setbacks is to overcome. It's through. It's more continuous, harder and smarter work, not to run away, to feel sorry for yourself, to bury yourself in Netflix, to dream of a vacation, right? It's to actually go through and do the difficult things. So step number 1 is you do difficult things. Remind yourself of it. 2 is project your life forward. The thing that really saved me when I quit on my business partner was I would remember myself, I would imagine myself being an old man at 40. I'm 41 now. Being an old man and it's over and life is finished at 40. And I don't want to regret my life. I don't want to regret this decision. I don't want to quit on this now. I know I'm going to regret and look back on my life and say, I wish I did more. I wish I tried more. I wish I pushed harder. I wish I just gave it one more day, one more week, one more month. Maybe that would have my break. And I did. I mean, that's what happened. I quit on my business partner, came back the next day, and a couple weeks later I had my first deal for $13,500, which was life-changing for me at the time. And then, I don't know, a year and a half later, sold the business, got acquired. It's crazy how fast it happened. And I would have looked back regretting that. So imagine you've already quit on some ideas that if you just stuck with, would have been successful by now. Ideas that you had 3-5 years ago, maybe even last year, that you just stopped. It had tons of potential and you just stopped. You got discouraged, you gave up, you quit. That if you just kept going, 3 years is not that long a time. You've had ideas for a bunch of years. If you just kept going on it, you'd be somewhere by now, right? You'd be way further ahead. It would have turned into something, but you quit on it. The point of that isn't to beat yourself up. The point is to use that as fuel going forward, to say, okay, the ideas that you have right now, maybe it's still the same idea from 3 years ago. The ideas that you've got right now have potential, can be something. And then if you don't continue on, if you don't keep showing up, if you don't keep showing up, throwing down, there you go, you're going to regret it. You will regret this. You will regret quitting right now. You will regret throwing in the towel. You'll regret it. So remind yourself of it. Jeff Bezos calls it the regret minimization framework, which is basically just try to live your life with as few regrets as possible. So ask yourself, will you regret this? Will you regret not playing hard? You not showing up today, in 40 years, will you regret it? And then step number 3 is to constantly be in the environment of the things that empower you, that inspire you. It's why I make these videos. It's why I have groups like Movement Makers. Be around the things, the people, the environment that lift you up, that make you want to go do those difficult things, that make you want to show up. When you're motivated, full of energy, on fire, it's easy to show up, right? It's easy to show up. It's easy to go and do your thing. It's easy to feel like everything is possible and you're full of hope and like, yes, it's easy to go and do it. What do you do in the days when you feel low, when all the doubts and insecurities creep in, when you don't feel like it's possible, where someone like you can't make it? Who were you to think you could do this? This is crazy. You're not getting results. Like those moments that you live in the self-doubt and insecurity and the fear that just eat away, that just suck up productivity. All that time you spent thinking about how crappy you are could be used to actually building a better life and business for yourself. Just wasted time and effort. So what do you do in those moments? You have to be in the environment that pulls you back in, that reminds you of who you are and what you want to create and what your potential is, that makes you actually feel like you have Michael Jordan level genius at something. So whether that's these videos, and I'm honored to be a part of your daily routine, whether that's my other videos, whether that's my books or other people's books and videos and podcasts, etc., whether it's a natural community like Movement Makers that you can join or somebody else's community, you can't do this alone. You can't do this by yourself. You can't stay stuck in this environment because the people around you right now are not pushing you to be better, are not showing you a path to your great life. They're not. And there's probably lots of lovely, amazing humans around you. Amazing. Yes, great. You're the one filling them up. Who's doing that for you? You have to be around the environment that encourages you and pushes you forward when you and the world around you is telling you to stop, to quit, to give up. Do those 3 things. Your life will change. If you want another Evan Rant video that just might give you the confidence you need, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there. Lack of belief is the world's #1 problem. I put it in my bios and on my social media accounts. I put it in my official bio when people introduce me. Lack of belief is the world's #1 problem.